Hey guys, it's Rufus, and I have 6 tips to help you win more gunfights. Now, the very first tip I have for you is to simply play more fragging operators. That can be in ranked, unranked, or a quick match. It really doesn't matter. And the problem is that I see a lot of people go into games and play support only, and then wonder why they can't frag. You're not fragging because you're not getting in a lot of engagements, and you're not, therefore, not practicing fragging as much as you could. When you play operators like Ashe and Zofia, you're going to practice face checking and all the other skills necessary to be a good fragger. I used to play support only, and eventually I found myself that I was lacking way behind in the competition when it came down to gun skill. And the best thing I did for myself was to just play fraggers a lot, and whenever I went into ranked, I didn't play support ever, no matter what. And so fragging is all about decision making, and aim will always help, but if you're making bad decisions, you will get punished. And so that's why you actually need to play more fraggers so you can develop that good decision making. You can practice making decisions and learn from your mistakes. If you don't play fraggers and don't get in those engagements, how are you supposed to know what works and what doesn't? Tip 2 is that a lot of players don't spend enough time working on their aim, movement, or mechanics. Skills like quick peeking and the ability to move fluidly and quickly is extremely important. And aim isn't a huge part of fragging, but it does make a difference in a lot of situations. And a lot of you might think that it sounds ridiculous to say that aim isn't a huge part of fragging, because people make it sound like aim is a huge part of fragging. But you can see it in a lot of pro players, like Pengu for example. His aim is nothing spectacular, but he makes good decision making consistently, and because of this, he performs consistently well. Now, when you have this consistency of good decision making, you will frag out a lot more over having good aim, because most of the time, aim cannot carry you in a gunfight, but decision making can. And although I just said that decision making is far more important than aim, it is still very important to work on, because in a lot of situations, your aim can win you a gunfight. It's just most of the time, you're not going to be able to consistently carry yourself with your aim. So if you work on aim, you will win a lot more gunfights, and you can save a lot of situations for your team. For tip number 3, you need to pay more attention to audio, and I don't just mean the audio from everything here, but the audio that you are making. And when you're in game, you will give your enemies live intel if you do not pay attention to when you're moving. And so a lot of times there will be sudden moments of silence, or in the late round, there will be more silence. But many players sway around, crouch, sprint, and just make audio that is giving their enemy an exact call of their position. I see so many people die from this, and it's always painful to see someone die because they essentially just told the enemy where they are. So think about when you're moving, think about the audio and the audio that you are making so that you do not give the enemy your exact location, because a lot of people don't think about this enough. Tip number 4 is to use your utility, and if you're playing Zofia or Ashe, you should be trying to use your utility as soon as possible, because you don't want to die with your flashes or your impacts or whatever, and you also want to be able to clear out the things because you're charging into that utility first. When you're pushing into a room, you're the first one who sees that shield, that barbed wire in person, so you should be the one who destroys it because you're the first person to see it and it's the fastest. So clear that utility so that you don't have to push into basically a mini mirror window. And also, if you're a hard breacher, don't force your entry fraggers to push into doorways. Open walls for them so that they can clear rooms more efficiently. On a lot of rooms, people don't utilize hard breach enough. Think about cache on Clubhouse. On a gym defense, a lot of people will hold cache. Opening the cache wall will make it a lot easier to push in versus pushing into a singular doorway. A lot of people don't think about their utility and how they can use it to better clear rooms, to better clear roamers, because things like concussions, flashes, frags can make it so much easier to get control. Tip number 5 is to always utilize intel. Intel makes winning gunfights so much easier, and it gives you the confidence and lets you place your crosshair in an ideal position for a generally easy pick. And as a fragger, you should not have to push without intel. On attack, if there are drones available, even if you have to drone yourself in, give yourself the intel so that you can evaluate your situation and make good decisions around it. And this applies to defense too. On defense, having a Valkyrie, Maestro, or an Echo can make your job significantly easier. On coastline, intel is even a must-have. Winning defense on that map without intel is so difficult. And so if you utilize intel and use it well, if you use it efficiently, tip number 6, this is the final tip, and it's to never give up, and it's to just keep grinding. I'm going to give a little story about my history of playing Siege per se, I guess you could call it that, but 6 months ago, I was stuck around the high gold Plat 3 area, and I really wanted to get better at this game because I love playing Siege and I've been playing it for over 3 years. And so I decided to start playing comp, and I've been grinding for over 6 months now, and my team just qualified for ESA quals. And that is a huge accomplishment for my team. If you don't know what ESA equals, it's a very popular league in the T3 scene. It's a huge opportunity for us as a team to be able to be an ESA. And especially since I'm only 17 right now, I can't go for CL or PL at the moment, which I would like to in the future, but for now, I am playing an ESA. So the thing here is to just never give up, because grinding over time, you will find that you get a lot of opportunities. And when you do well with those opportunities, when you make those opportunities work out, you're going to notice over time, you're going to become a much better player. I've been playing comp for over 6 months now, which is quite a while, at least for me. But a lot of people just give up and quit playing comp all the time. And those people don't get anywhere because they obviously aren't playing. If you want to be good at this game, if you want to try and get to Diamond, if you want to try to get to Challenger League, Pro League, whatever goals you have in mind, it's all going to come down to just not giving up and to just keep playing and to just keep doing your best to improve, because you can improve a lot faster than you think. Going from essentially gold 1 to where I am now in 6 months is a huge amount of progress in a short amount of time. And a lot of people can do it too. In fact, a lot of people could improve even faster than I did, because I would say that a lot of my practices to get better in the past were not very efficient. And so if you work hard and if you work efficiently, you can become a much better player than I am now in a much shorter amount of time. But that's all I have to say for this video, and if you learned something, give the video a like, and if you want to see more content like this, then subscribe. Toodles.